What is up, everyone? Welcome back to No Cap Space. Tyler, Shawnee, and Andrew here. And just as the whole league was just getting back to their cities, everyone was just getting the slight moment to exhale. The New York Liberty drop a bombshell. Emma Meesseman is back in the WNBA. Oh no. First reported by ESPN. Goodness gracious, y'all. I mean, I want to start off before we get into the specifics of the deal and everything, because I want to start off with Emma Meesseman individually. Because over the course of free agency, for the past couple of years now, we've been talking and we will talk free agency. And then there's always this footnote at the end. You could sign Emma Meesseman, but nah, she's probably not coming back. That's always been the kind of tone about the 2019 Finals MVP, is that you could, but it's not going to happen. No way. And yet the New York Liberty, at the halfway point, on a downward time with Jonquel Jones out, who is about to make her return as well, have gone and signed Emma Meesseman. But I want to start here about the individual player. First off, whether it be new fans, whether it just be fans that haven't seen Emma Meesseman play for a while as she's been hooping overseas, why is this so important? Why is this such a big deal if maybe you're a bit unfamiliar with Emma Meesseman's game?
I'll start there because I'm the most recent victim of Emma Meesseman. In 2019, the Washington Mystics won a championship, and she was a Finals MVP. On the way to that championship, they absolutely baptized my GOAT, A'ja Wilson. Bro, God knows. That was the moment where we were like, okay, A'ja's going to come back from this, because EDD and Meesseman was taking turn. It was bad. It was so bad. But, like, Mees is such a skilled big. Like, what you're seeing today from bigs and, like, point guards and Big Mees was a problem. Big Mees was doing it. So she was actually a huge part of that 2019 team, in the same way that, like, Kalia Copper was to that 21 Sky team. Both of them won Finals MVP. Both of them had incredible performances. Both of them absolutely raised a franchise. And like this is illegal. This feels illegal. Like, I'm sorry. Like, none of this makes sense. But I know she hasn't really said anything to the point, but it's like you could kind of tell she thinks America is ghetto, and it's like, same. I get it. Like,
honestly, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel you. So it's like New York as a destination, a major city. Like, that's why we got to have sexy cities only, because we can't get free agents globally because it's not enough sexy cities. So Big Mees is a problem. Her returning to the league is a problem for the rest of the league. So just in case you forgot, she's that girl.
Yeah. European coaches have told me point blank personally, she's the best player outside of the WNBA in the world. And there are some coaches that have argued to me she might be the best player in the world. And I know that our very American-centric view of basketball exists in this manner. And I understand that and understand why. But I just want to open up the accolades here. It is absolutely preposterous when you look.
Yeah.
All-Star 5 in the Olympics in 2020 and 2024. Eurobasket MVP for FIBA in 2023 and 2025. Two-time WNBA All-Star, 6-time EuroLeague champion, 5-time FIBA Europe Super Cup winner, 3-time EuroLeague MVP, back-to-back-to-back EuroLeague MVP. Three straight years.
There's no fall off. Like, 2019 sounds far away from but there has been no fall off.
And I'm not even done yet. Triple crown, 3-time Turkish Super League champion, 2-time Turkish final MVP. And mind you, this is the Turkish league that, like, Gabby Williams and Satu Sabli play in. Like, this is not a league of scrubs.
And that's what I was going to say. This was before Unrivaled, when they were making super teams overseas.
Super teams to beat Mees.
Super. And then this, the first ever back-to-back Eurobasket women MVP. But these are the averages I want you to look at. 19.2 points, 9.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 2.3 steals, 1.8 blocks per game. Effectively, what you are adding, if you are the New York Liberty, is another viable MVP candidate on a team with 2 MVPs in the WNBA already, and a multi-time all-WNBA guard now, and Leonie Fiebich, who is basically baby Meesseman in a lot of respects. So, like, let's talk about this starting 5 that you could have if you are the New York Liberty now.
Dude.
You could trot out a starting 5 of either Sabrina or Natasha Cloud at the 1. You could put Fiebich at the 2. You could put 6'4" Leonie Fiebich at the 2. You could put 6'4" Emma Meesseman at the 3, 6'4" Brianna Stewart at the 4, and 6'6" Jonquil Jones at the 5. And have one of either Natasha Cloud or Sabrina Ionescu coming off the bench with Niara Sabali, Izzy Harrison, like the entire bench that you already possess. This is, to put this into NBA terms for people, this is Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. And this is Kevin Durant joining the Warriors after 2015, not 2016. This isn't KD joining the team after a loss. This is KD joining the team after they win a title. And so there is absolutely zero excuse for the Liberty this year. You absolutely have to win the title or we will clown you for forever, because this is the best collection of WNBA talent on a roster since the Houston Comets. There has never been a collection of talent this good. And I understand people are going to say the Brunson Fowles, Maya Lynx, like the Candace Lisa Sparks, like there's been a lot of really good teams in that time since. I can promise you this roster is the most stacked starting 5 in WNBA history. Straight up. Up.
Wow.
All this to beat Caitlin Clark. Like, me
Shut up.
They got that one loss to the Fever, and they in the horn like Draymond. Like, Big Meese, we need you. Big Meese, we need you.
Bro.
Dude, I think the big thing here, though, is it's not only that the Liberty are adding her, the Liberty kept her away from Phoenix and Minnesota. Yep. It was the top teams that were involved in this. Big Meese was only going to a winning team. She wasn't going to no 7 or 8 seed or anything like that. It just wasn't happening going at this point of the year. It wasn't going to happen. She is here to win a championship. And by every indication, she should believe that her joining any of the top 3 teams makes them the favorite. Like, it would have been different cases for each team, but Emma Meesseman is that type of player. She's at 32 years old. So, like, this is, like, not a thing that, like, has to end here either, in the sense of, like, where this kind of goes on past this season. It truly, if you are getting, and there's no reason really why it shouldn't be, if you are getting the best version of Emma Meesseman right now, like, it's a genuinely league-changing addition to a team that, when healthy, was already arguably the best team in the league. Like, this is sickening. I'm sick. All this to beat the stud buds. All this to beat the stud buds.
That Twitch stream's gonna go crazy.
Like, it wasn't a huge. Yeah, there wasn't like this huge gap between the Liberty and the Lynx, and now there is. Like, she shifted the entire postseason in a major way, and how much help does Sabrina need? This is starting to get a little weird.
No, this is the greed they spoke of in the Bible, though.
Crazy.
This is the greed. This is the greed that we talk about when South Carolina wins a championship and then like gets 5-star recruits. This is, and I'm gonna keep.
Why are we in this? We just lost.
I'm gonna keep the same energy here, because when the Aces loaded up on talent in 23, we were talking all this shit about competitive balance and parity. We were. When Candace rolled up on that team in 23, we were like, how much more help do the
And
Aces
this Emma Meesseman is so better than that Candace Parker. Like, so much better.
More OD than that.
Okay, but like, and then we saw what happened. God was like, yeah, y'all tried to freak the system, and then Candace is out for the season. So it's like,
let me tell you right now, the legacy building on the line for Nafisa Collier this year, if she goes and wins the MVP and then goes and leads the Minnesota Lynx past this New York Liberty team and goes and wins finals MVP, the legacy building that is on the line for Nafisa Collier now, like, as a potential just like massive leap into superstardom, especially if Emma Meesseman just immediately comes in and starts cooking, the leap here that Nafisa Collier can take on an individual level is genuinely massive. And it's so interesting because, like, as best as you can match up with this Liberty team, the Lynx have the pieces to do, like, in terms of like having some length to defend and whatnot. This is still not like a foregone conclusion. However, holy shit, they just got him a Meesseman.
I don't know.
You know?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but like this instantly raises the ceiling with Jonquel out. With Jonquel with Jonquel there, dog. I mean,
okay, hold on. So now going back to your,
I'm struggling to think of equivalent analogies here. Like, I guess the closest NBA comp I can think of is like when Arvydas Sabonis came over to the NBA at 31 after like running shit in Europe. But instead, this would be like instead of Arvydas Sabonis joining the Portland Trailblazers, Arvydas Sabonis joins the Bulls in 95. Like, this is absolutely monumental. Like, and I don't think I'm getting sucked into hyperbole by saying this. Like, this is a woman who led a Belgian team that almost beat Team USA in the FIBA World Championships. Or not the championship, I'm sorry, the FIBA Olympic qualifiers. It was like a huge freaking deal because no one's beaten Team USA in like 35 years. And a Rashid Mezian coach, Emma Meesseman-led Belgium, took them to the wire, the absolute wire. And she did it basically on her own against a team that's like Asia Wilson, Fee Stewie. You know what I mean? Like there is... When this team is fully healthy and you have the luxury of taking Fibic off the bench now, like this is how you won last year, was Fibic off the bench, but the hole that you had in the roster when she was coming off the bench, which was at the guard position, has now been replaced by Natasha Cloud.
It's holy shit, dude. Like
there's
no I don't know what the weakness is. I don't know.
There wasn't even a weak point when they were fully healthy. There is definitely not a weak point now that they're fully healthy, man. I mean, granted, fit matters and how things match up matters, but like this is not a 22-year-old coming in thinking that they are something. Like, there is a institutional respect in the sport for Emma Meesseman at age 32.
It's damn near like Voldemort. Like, you don't want to even, it's like you. It's like there's.
Bro, there's
aura with Emma Meesseman, man. There's some aura here.
This is the way we used to talk about Alina Yagapova in her mid-20s. Like, the way pros would talk about Alina Yagapova when she was over in Europe and we're like, one of the best guards in the world isn't playing here. That is how pros talk about Emma Meesseman right now. Is as a potential top 3, top 4 WNBA player the minute she sets foot here. Like, she won Finals MVP in 2019 or 22.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
So
like, it sounds like you're setting the stage for the 73 Warriors, the 73 win Warriors. So look, Fee, we got to get you an Undertaker shirt. We got to get into that mentality, because this is what is setting the stage, like a very stacked deck competing with this boy, going back to the legacy. Because conversely, like Alyssa Thomas, right? If Phoenix is able to get it done,
100%.
That, man, we go from like forgetting her in the pictures to like we will not be able to stop talking about her for generations to come. I will be singing Alyssa Thomas praises. Like, the triple-double revolutionized the game. But like, because like you're saying, it is stacked the deck in such a major way that it's very hard to overcome. I think what Minnesota needs to do now is go get Tina Charles. Tina Charles has been wanting to win a ring her entire career. We saw she left Phoenix to go to Seattle when they was having those issues. Tina Charles, man, I know you're having fun being a camp counselor, being the mentor, but like, let's go.
Tina Charles, we might need you to lock in, big dog.
That's what I'm saying. We got to start. We got to start loading up.
We got to start forming a super team of I open the portals up.
I got a blueprint for you. How to get out.
Left.
I will say I like this for the league, though, because like as much as we're talking about, star-centric players in the league, it's Caitlin, it's Angel, it's Paige, it's Stewie and Asia and everybody else. Before Caitlin entered the league, we were having this discussion about like Aces versus Liberty, like super team versus super team, right? And I think the best formula for basketball is where you have a mix of two. You have a good spread of individual personalities all over the league, but you have like a team people are chasing or two teams people are chasing. In this case, it's the Liberty and the Lynx that everyone is kind of chasing. And I love the idea that now we kind of have that storyline to follow here after it felt like with Jonquel's injury, maybe that wasn't going to materialize in the same way. Now it's like a very clear who is going to chase this team and try to beat this team. And that, to me, I absolutely love because it opens up the possibilities for storytelling and how to do it within the league itself. Personally, I also think this is kind of a win on the labor front for the players. To go back to history, and I wrote about it in 5 Out, and you can find it on No Cap Space. If you go back to like the 80s in the NBA, a lot of the finances actually kind of line up in a really funny way. But one of the issues in the NBA with their labor was there was this kind of like top-heavy formation of super teams and overpayment of players forming to the point where owners had to say, like, we have to get a handle on this. And that's how the revenue sharing model was actually created in 83. In the W right now, because the payments to players are artificially deflated and haven't been, negotiated into a new deal just yet, what is happening is competitive balance is being skewed because of what organizations can offer you on the side, right? Like Vegas can give you, the deal with the tourism authority, right? Phoenix can give you a state-of-the-art facility. New York can give you all of these marketing opportunities and the facilities that they are offering to people. There's other accoutrements that are now coming in that means the talent can be centralized in one particular place. And I think if you are the owners now and you want some degree of balance across the board, it actually behooves you to raise that cap a little bit, because that way you're going to have less of a chance of players taking cut rates like what Meesseman is doing to be able to join an already existing team. It opens up the door for more suitors to say, we might not have New York's marketability, but you know what? We can offer you twice what New York's offering you because we have cap space to do so. And to me, I think that is an interesting wrinkle here, that like players are going to advocate for what they're going to advocate for, but owners on the other end, if you're not a New York, for instance, you are like, hey, maybe we should raise this cap so I, in Chicago, for instance, can have the ability to throw down a bag for her and entice her with more money than New York can, because as it stands right now, everyone's fighting on the same playing field cap-wise. And so now it's all of the other stuff that is going to win you the day. And you frankly just can't compete with the big cities in this respect. Like, you can't compete if New York has all of the stuff and the Athletic came out with the player poll and New York has number one in terms of marketability and number one as an organization. Like, you can't compete with that. You can't compete with the largest media market in the country and one of the largest in the world, and the team takes care of you. The only way to offset that is by paying somebody more than those two things can offer. And if the cap doesn't move enough, then you're stuck with New York basically always running the league in this way. So I actually think there is a spin here that this is a good piece of player leverage that the owners are actually going to be able to bring to the table, because if New York continues to do this, at some point, other owners have to step up and be like, we can't compete with this. There has to be a means to balance out the books. And in 83 with the NBA, that's what happened, because people couldn't compete with the 76ers spending a shitload of money to get Moses Malone and other players. So they adopted a cap, and they adopted revenue sharing of 53% and profit sharing between all of the teams. So you had this competitive balance that allowed things to be played on a more even field. And that's what the W has the opportunity to do here right now. So Emma Meesseman, the workers' champion, solidarity with the PA, man. We love it.
All of this to beat the stud buds. I mean, goodness gracious. Genuinely, like, I mean, obviously we've gone on about it, but it's hard to exaggerate how massive this signing can be. We will see what happens. The expectations immediately go through the roof for the New York Liberty, as they should when you make a signing like this, as being a team already at the stature that they're at. I don't know what's going to happen next, but goodness gracious, Emma Meesseman just absolutely lit a fire into the second half of the WNBA season. Like, everyone was chilling, getting back from All-Star, and then boom. Monday. It's a messy Monday.
Yeah.
It's a messy
Monday.
It's a messy Monday. A Meesseman Monday. Yes.
Meesseman Monday is incredible.
But with all that said, go check out Andrew's Ball Up Top, nocapspacewbb.com. You can find that in the description below. It was a great Ball Up Top, by the way. Get a little Stub Buds action in there, some CBA action, a whole lot of stuff happened at All-Star Weekend this year. I had a great time reading it. You should go read it too. And then, of course, Ball Up Top, nocapspacewbb.com, and your favorite podcast platform will be dropping tomorrow. I don't know if we got more to talk about now with this. We were just going to kind of preview the rest of the season. We just got thrown a big curveball. So we might have more Meesseman thoughts, but regardless, you're going to want to tap in. So make sure you're in across the board, and we're headed to another milestone here on YouTube. So make sure you are subscribed, you like, you share. Emma Meesseman, the Voldemort of women's basketball, is back in the WNBA and has signed with the New York Liberty. Until next time, folks, stay tapped in, and we'll talk soon.